Welcome to Vertical Football, and this is the Blue Box. Yeah, this is a show where we talk all things Chelsea, and in this one, we are doing a tactical analysis on how Chelsea. We are beginning to see a different dynamic in the way we attack now. I think it has been happening since the. It's something that we have always been using, but I think we are bringing a different feel into it now. We are bringing a different dynamic into the way it is being played, and we started to see it against. I think that should be the match against Aston Villa, and it has been occurring before that time, but it's not something that we use so often. But in that Aston Villa match, I think we used it so much that if you check almost like every single goal or every attack that we got against Aston Villa, you will see a glimpse of it. Sometimes it is the dominant one. Sometimes you just see a spark of it, and then it just occurred here and there, a little bit of it. But it's something that even the match against Wrexham that we won 4-2 in the FA Cup, I think we used it a lot. We used it a lot. So I think I'm just going to use the Aston Villa one as the case study, and then we'll look at this thing, and then we'll see how it has been playing out and how we can use it against some particular set of team, and how we can like just brandish it and get the better out of it. So guys, follow me through as we do the tactical analysis of this particular one. Yeah, so what I have on my screen here is the Aston Villa match. So let's start from here. This is like a snapshot of the first goal. So this is what we are looking at, and this situation occurred out of it's like a settled possession. So they were on an attack. Chelsea got the ball. We tried to attack them back. So it was only Kopama in the forefront. So he got the ball, tried to like break it down, allow them recover. So we were in a settled position. So they were in kind of like a 5-3-2 situation. They were like this one. There was one guy, there's a guy here marking Garnacho. This is their two center backs. This is their left back here, Ian Martin, and I think this should be Rogers. So they are on a 5-year, or we can call it maybe a 4-4-2 or a 5-3-2, sure. And this is the midfield. Yeah, they are blocking space. And this is their two forward, Buendia and Oli Watkins. And this is Chelsea in a settled possession kind of shape. Yeah, we have Enzo Fernandez. And now what we want to talk about specifically is something that we call the runners. Yeah, the runners in the sense that our wide wingers are mostly the guys who are going to be doing the runners, though they are not necessarily the one that will do it all of the time. Sometimes the fullback who is overlapping can come in to do it, or one who is underlapping can come in to do it. But the basic job is the job of the runners, and most especially is going to be the last man on the wing part of the pitch. So you are seeing somebody like what's it called here? You're seeing somebody like Malo Gusto doing that running job here. Let's use the arrow here. And this is Malo Gusto making a move inside. This is Malo Gusto making a move inside. And then you have somebody like Enzo Fernandez who has the capacity, who have the skill set in his arsenal to be able to make those passes, to like send that pass straight in here for Malo Gusto to get the ball. And eventually, if you know what happened, we went on, got the ball, first touch, made a square pass outside to Joao Pedro, and he put the ball at the back of the net. But there are some tiny details there to like just pay attention to. You look at somebody like Joao Pedro here. Let me change the color. Let me make it something like green. All right. So you look at Joao Pedro here. What he's basically doing is dragging this guy forward, coming here. Opama also not making any move. Even after they have seen that Enzo Fernandez is trying to make a pass, they are still not making the move, and he's coming back here. And Ato also facing back to like make these guys just stay out of touch with what is actually going on behind the scene. Yeah, now you're looking at and this is basically like making the defense do two actions. So they are never going to be in a unit. Firstly, these guys are watching this guy to come forward. This guy is watching this guy. There's somebody here who is staying with Garnacho, trying to make sure nothing is going on. But there is this guy who is actually trying to make a run. So like we are forcing them. This guy is pulling and this guy is pushing. So when these guys are staying, This guy is always like trying to, okay, this is the last man. I'm going to trigger this guy to come and follow me. So definitely he's never going to be in an offside position if his timing is run very well. So he's making the run while these guys are still standing. And you have somebody in the like of Enzo Fernandez who can make that pass, and then is making the pass perfectly into that place. And you are getting Joao Pedro who is seeing, oh, the pass is going, and then is following him to go and get the ball. And that is not even only the situation there. You go to another situation like this. Yeah, this is another situation. This is one who led. This is another one which led into the second goal. You're looking at somebody like Caicedo. Somebody like Caicedo is on the ball here. Like, let me use my arrow. He's on the ball. This is Caicedo on the ball here. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I can't touch the other thing. This is somebody like Caicedo on the ball here. You have Garnacho. Basically, as soon as this guy is getting the ball and you are seeing that movement, he has spotted a runner already. And it's as simple as straightforward like that. He has spotted a runner. So as soon as he spots his runner, he's going to make the pass. And that's how we go on to get this. Look at Garnacho. And I can bet you that you know that Garnacho started the run from the halfway line. So we can say from here, coming down like this, he went on to like keep the run. This is the ball here. So he went on to like get here. And this went on. He held up the ball a little bit. Somebody like Ato dragged this person, came and make sure he pulled that run into this place so that somebody like let me change the color. So somebody like Fofana can chase him and get into this space also. So Garnacho, this guy, Ato just being that guy who just drags this guy out wide and making this one get to this point and then get a pass, cut back into this place. You know, before he's going to arrive there, there is somebody like Joao Pedro is arriving here as somebody who is going to stand in the last line of the defense. And, you know, there's Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez also showed up and he came into this spot perfectly. I wish I could like give you a snapshot of what he eventually went on to be like. So Enzo Fernandez came into that spot, got the ball. Joao Pedro still standing in his position as the last line, standing in the last line of the defense. And then he got the ball, just a slick pass, moved there, and then he lobbed it over the keeper. So he still started from this guy who is the runner, trying to make that run, and not even trying, making the run, and then somebody in the light of Caicedo being that guy who can also make those passes. So to like basically explain this thing, I think the most important thing that we should pay attention to is the runner and the number 10. No, let me not say the number 10, the runner and the person who can make that pass. So because in the game against Wrexham, we saw these runs, but you look at the quality of the passes was not there. We got, like, you saw those runs times without number. Somebody like Garnacho always making those runs, but you look at the quality of passes that he's getting, it's not there. But when you now replace the person who is making that pass and you change it to somebody like Enzo Fernandez, you change it to somebody like Kopama, you change the passer to somebody like Moises Caicedo, to Reece James, to Romeo Lavia. Now, these are guys who have those passing ability in their skill set. When they make those passes, as much as the runner is making his run, he's definitely going to get the ball. So it's a combination between the runner and the person who is making the pass. And I'll show another example so that you can see this thing. Yeah, so, and we have another example here, and this is the third goal. The third goal from Kopama coming out from, we stole the ball from them, try to like make a transition, and you see somebody like Kopama making that pass for Reece James to like run into perfectly. And you know, when Reece James runs into that space, it's just the output. I feel like that's another thing that we need to put into consideration. The output is very important, because when you give somebody who is running the ball, what they do with the ball will determine whether you can get a goal or you will not get a goal. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Like, you drop the pass for the runner. What he does with the ball is going to determine, like, when you give him the ball, if he kicks it too far out wide, you have lost the momentum of the ball. Or if he tries to kick it and is not kicking it with a perfect execution, you have lost the momentum of the ball. But when Reece James got the ball here, it went out wide, made a square play back. The keeper fortunately went out, made a punch, and then he got back to Kopama, and then he pushed it back into the post. Like, you know, it's all about this, the runner and the passer of the ball. You are looking at somebody like Reece James here. Sorry. Rich James' main job here is to make the run into the right channel, into the right position, and you know that Kopama's pass will definitely come into that space. You know that it will definitely come into that space. It's just for him to make the right run and get into that place. So it's all about having the ball with the right person and the right person making the run because of the execution. When that guy makes the run, when he gets to the perfect position, the person who is making the pass is dropping a perfect pass. And the person who has made the run needs to have the skill set to be able to use the ball effectively. And let's go into the last one. No, we're not going to. We get two more. So this one, I feel like this one is the one that is very sweet for me. Now, Kopama gets the ball in this space. Now you can see the amount of space that he has. It's something that, given the attribute of Kopama or given the quality that he has, is something that if he chooses not to play the ball, he can move the ball around this place and then wait for runners like Enzo Fernandez to come into that space, or Garnacho holding his line, holding his run, and then perfectly when he gets into this place, he just drops the pass. But you see what somebody like João Pedro is doing. He's already making the run, and we can like explain that thing in two parts. Firstly, we can say he's making this run because he knows that the ball is not coming to him. So he just needs to be ahead of the defenders first, because he knows Kopama getting this ball will want to like either go for this guy, set the ball perfectly for Garnacho, and Garnacho just makes that run and gets the ball. And I eventually you see what the ball later turned to. Like it's perfect. What I appreciate the most from Garnacho is that he was not selfish about it. He could have run into that space, got the ball, and tried to like score by his own self. But no, he still went on, boosted himself forward, and made a perfect pass into João Pedro, like for him to get the ball and put it at the back of the net. But what was very, very important was this guy, Garnacho, holding his run. There is this guy here. I think, though you don't want to like risk it, giving the ball to João Pedro, because you don't know if this is going to be an offside, either by a little margin or whatever it wants to be. But it's something that you can still give the pass to this guy. But the main point here to like buttress what we're talking about in this video is that the runner and the person who is playing the pass, he has the right skill set to play the pass. He has the attributes to make the run and get the ball. And like we spoke about the thoughts in the execution, what are you going to do with the ball? And perfectly for Garnacho, he moves into this situation, got to the final position, and then he dropped that right pass to get João Pedro his hat-trick. And then you go into the third part here also, you see this last one. It's still all from Kopama. And I think that's something I appreciate. I like to always see Kopama and Enzo Fernandez in the 10. Kopama and Enzo Fernandez in the 10, because when they get the ball, you know that they have what it takes to like make that right pass. It's something that they have in their skill set to like make the right pass, and they are perfectly executing it. He gets the ball here. Garnacho perfectly running to pull this guy out of the way. And then this guy is already slow. This guy is running ahead of him. Cucurella is running ahead of him already. And then somebody like Kopama, who has the skill set, just drops that pass perfectly into that place. But unfortunately, Garnacho didn't get it. That was very sad for him. I wished he would have gotten this particular one, and just to crown all his effort in the way he played in that particular match. I repent my word, because I think I had to like watch the match all over again to like see what Garnacho was doing off the ball. I thought I was watching this match and looking at Garnacho on the ball, and I was not really impressed. But when I watched the match all over again and I started spotting this pattern, I repent my word, because in my 5 tennis I spoke about we trying to like get a different breed of winger, because I saw what Garnacho, when he got the ball, he was not necessarily doing anything out of it. One thing I just want to put out there is you look at somebody like Garnacho. I think what I have figured out in the last 2-3 matches that I have seen with Garnacho now is he's better off the ball in the way we want to play. I think it brings a whole lot into the team off the ball. Like his runs, he knows when to make the run. He knows when to hold the line, because Garnacho is that kind of guy that if you have gone and look at stat and look at the way he has been playing for Chelsea, you don't necessarily catch him in the offside position because he knows how to time his run. And I think that's one of the strengths that we can leverage on. He's going to definitely time his run. And now, psychologically, because he's doing that run thing very well, he's going to put defenders in situations where they will always want to stay with him so that they don't want to give him too much of space to be able to run it. And that means he is that guy who can help us drag the line further forward. So he's always that guy. When he's standing on the line, he's that guy who, you know, the fullback will always want to be with him so that you don't give him space to be able to make that run. And that basically means wherever he is, the defender is going to be there. So their offside trap or whatever it is always going to be in a jeopardy. Like there is always going to be a problem with it. So I'm beginning to see what this guy is bringing into the game off the ball. On the ball, I think he has limitations because he's not that guy who, when you give the ball 1v1, you can be assured that he's going to get something out of it. But when you like see what he does off the ball, the runs, dragging defenders to himself, making that late time run, and you even see the in-swingers from somebody like Dario Esugo in the Wrexham match, somebody like Pedro Neto, somebody like Rich James, like Malo Gusto, and you are seeing him like getting that late run. For Enzo Fernandez, dropping that pass, and then he has the orientation to arrive late, arrive behind every other person, and even got to the goal. The third goal is an example. Yeah, so those kind of things are something that I really appreciate. And if we can keep on playing to his strength, I believe we'll get the best out of somebody like Garnacho. The other wingers also, you see, get somebody like Estevao, who is not available for the main time. You know that this guy also brings that kind of thing into the game. He's somebody that can take the ball 1v1, do that things for you, but at the same time, he's also somebody who can make those late runs and get something out of it. So guys, this is just my view about the way we are going about things tactically, offensively in the team. So I just said, okay, let me do the courtesy of bringing it to my guys. This is what I have seen in the last 2-3 matches, but I just wanted to use the Aston Villa match as the example. So guys, thank you for sticking with us. This is the Blue Box. It's a show that is hosted on Vertical Football. Please do well to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done that. So we see you some other time. Namaste.